Welcome to User and I, the channel where I explore all things UX and UI design. And today we're back with our third principle in the Gestalt principles, and today we're talking about proximity. So this one's all about items that are near each other being seen as being related. And this could be in an environment, it could be online, it could be on graphic design, in print design as well, but for now we're talking about it in the context of UX and UI design. And what's important to note about this principle is that it does override color, size, and visual similarity, which contrasts the principle that we spoke about last episode, which was the principle of similarity, where color was the thing that differentiated it at the end of the day. This is pretty much the similar example that we had in the previous episode where we discussed similar shapes and similar sizes. But if you notice here, we've got circles and squares, but because of the white space between the elements, we immediately start recognizing relationships. We can see that in the top right hand corner, the square and the circle, despite their difference in shape and color, are related. In contrast to on the left, we have a circle, a square, and a circle, and we can see that they're related. Same again on the bottom. We have the exact same shape, but on the right hand side, we have 2, and on the left, we have 3, and there's a nice gap in between. It doesn't matter that the 2 in the left group are actually the same color. We immediately start to recognize relationship, and if we start to take the entire row as a whole, we can see that the top is related and the bottom row is related, and this is literally what the principle of proximity is all about. But what about some real world examples online? So this is a screenshot from the landing page of the side project I'm currently building. It's called Fridge Reminders, and this section on the website is all about communicating the benefits of the product. It allows you to plan ahead, plan your meals on the go, and then I've got a small section that goes into detail. It's much easier to make a meal when you know what you're going to make ahead of time. So this is one of the benefits of the application that I'm building. But what we can immediately see is that I have 2 headings and then I have some body text. And what you can immediately see is that the space between them is quite small, which means that we know they're related. If we go to other examples on different websites, I like the Boast website as a good example here. Navigation is always an area where we start to see the principle of proximity really start to take shape. On the far left, we have navigation options: holiday deals, shop, explore, support. These are all customer related actions relating to purchases, orders, decisions on the website when it comes to making a purchase. Whereas on the far right, we see more secondary actions. We see a search bar, we see an account icon, a favorite icon, and we see the checkout basket. This again, the space between the 2 is an example of the principle of proximity. And then moving further down on the Boast website, I found these really good category tiles, and we start to see the principle of similarity and proximity here at play. They are exactly the same shape, they're exactly the same layout. We have a product image, then we have a title, subtext, and a call to action. Immediately we see that both tiles are similar. However, if we delve in closer, we start to see that the title and the subtitle are closer together than the subtitle and the call to action. Again, this is the principle of proximity taking place. We are separating the action from the detail in this tile. And this is what they have on mobile. One thing to be careful of: space is a good thing, but it can also become a bad thing. Here's an example of the exact same tiles, but this is their desktop version. What we see at the top is a headline and a subtext that I would argue is a bit too small in font, but also that call to action, shop or buy now at the bottom left, completely disappears. And this is where we have to be careful about the type of space we're using, because making things seem unrelated also means that they could be ignored. And as soon as I look at this picture, I immediately think that call to action is a mistake. It would do a best job being just under the subtext like it was in the previous options. And for our final example, I'm going to refer back to the landing page for the product I'm building. What we can see immediately at the email field is the email and the call to action for the email are very close together. There's a small gap between them, whereas the spacing between the email field and the action and the subtext is very different. Again, we're seeing proximity taking place here because the amount of space we are giving our elements to breathe. So to conclude, this principle is all about spacing, how we use space, how we ignore space, how we create space, and what we're trying to communicate with that space. I've got quite a few videos exploring this as well. So what I'll do is that I'll link those in the description below, but this ties it up for our second principle. We're going to move on to closure next time. Stick around, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.